Let me tell you something. Trading is tough. Very tough. Not everyone wins, okay? Futures trading involves substantial risk, tremendous risk, huge risk. And you can lose money, real money. Past performance doesn't mean anything about future results. Believe me, only trade what you could afford to lose. Do your own research. Get professional advice if you need it. This is for educational purposes only. We're just sharing ideas, not guarantees. Smart people manage risk. Great traders respect it. No members of DS Capital were harmed in the making of this video. Thank you very much.
Lord Sean Connery here, along with Mohammed, and this is Nostradamus. This is our weekly outlook. We normally publish this on the Sunday before the open, but with this Monday being President's Day, we figured that we let that day pass and get a little hint on what possibly would go into coming in on a Tuesday, which is a non-holiday for the U.S. markets. Um, yeah, what's really interesting is one of our primary scenarios is already at work. However, with Tuesday to come, we might see that action be taken back. Possibly, we'll see. So, anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at Mohammed's chart.
Alright, this is Future Muhammad speaking. My mic did not get picked up in this video. Not sure why, but I'm gonna try to do a quick voiceover part for the segment I was doing. And pretty much what I was talking about over here was what we did last week. I talked about how initially the market played out the primary scenario, which the primary was it would hold against Friday's low and we would see a continuation higher. That played out very well. And then the secondary scenario was also playing out, which was the look above and fail of the prior weekly high. Now, I was talking about how, when me and Ra were watching that day, the market simply just stalled. It just was not getting higher, and it did ultimately reverse. Here, I believe I'm pretty much pointing out the double distribution profile on the weekly perspective, and I'm really paying attention to the two-way that we have below. I should be marking that now, I believe. And ultimately, what I was saying is, what the market does at this two-way is going to be very important. It already has started playing out one of the long scenarios, like one of the variations of the long scenario. And that was pretty much the market would break the two-way to the upside and we would see a pullback for the continuation higher. I believe I was talking about how it could hold the targets for the upside would be that upper distribution, so that's kind of the spot I would be targeting for the upside. And then if it does continue, we do have like the prior swings to reference, but the nice simple trade would be breaking that two-way from below and then rechecking the upper distribution. Here, I believe I am now talking about the other variation of the long, which, it's obviously the variation that we got was the break of the two-way and then continuation. This one I was talking about a possible look below and fail of the two-way. And I talked about Dalton a little bit, which was, if we break one side of the balance and there's no new interest, we are likely to see the market trade to the opposite edge of the balance. And then it's pretty much just a better trade location. So that's what I'm talking about over here. I pretty much covered the long scenario, and I am now going to just sort of cut to the next part, and then I'll do the next voiceover. But I don't think I covered anything else over here. I think here I was talking about how we did leave the VPOC below us. So if the market does end up checking lower, it would be nice to see the market test the VPOC and then ultimately head back higher. So here I'm just highlighting where the VPOC is overlapping. So we have it overlapping on Thursday, Friday, and now Monday's session. So clearly a highly accepted price if the market is going to recheck that. that would be a pretty nice point, where we would want to see buyers hold. Or if the market does want to hold the low volume area from Tuesday's auction, or not Tuesday, from today's auction, we hold that low volume area and then we do continue to the upside.
Yeah, one thing about today, since it closed away from value, is in the overnight or even tomorrow, we might check higher and fail to kind of hold, and then it could come right back into that VPOC area. So one thing, you mentioned about the break of last week's high. We had a gap open, like we had an open gap, and it looked like a gap and go, but then on the tape, it did not behave that greatly to the upside. It started to run into some really heavy selling, just a heavy wall of selling, and then it just turned into a gap and go, turned into a gap and crap, and that pretty much was like a test of one side of like the upper side of balance on that previous week, and then with the lack of interest of buyers, then that Thursday really just took it. I mean, holy shit! Like the market took it right in the fucking ass on that day. That was actually pretty impressive. Yeah, I remember I was mentioning, like, can I have my runners back on my short? Yeah, but one interesting thing on Friday is in the overnight we checked Thursday's low, and it looked like we tested that, and then in the session we closed with value and VPOC overlapping on Thursday. So that was like a check lower, even though the market made lower lows, and all those goons that say, "Oh, look, the market's making lower lows, we're gonna go lower." We still maintained that value in VPOC. So coming into this week, I was curious about, all right, well, since we did that, and since us market profile and volume profile traders will trade value, that's an opportunity to set up a really good base and to start correcting some of that really shitty auctioned singles areas that were formed on Thursday. And unfortunately, it like on during the Sunday into Monday during the holiday, we tried to check lower after the Asia session. In the European session, everybody got high on coke and started hitting buttons, but we came right back in. So if we tried to check lower and couldn't make new lows against the previous week, came right back into balance and then went higher. The sucks part is it did it on a holiday, and we didn't shift value or VPOC in the full session. So my expectations were, like, yes, the primary scenario is going, but the only thing the only thing that sucks. Sorry, my book map just blasted. Ask imbalance of fucking whoever the fuck on Rhythmic. I don't give a shit about ES. I should take that shit off. All right. Anyways, the primary is going, but it did it on a holiday. Now, will it hold? I'm very interested in what happens tomorrow. If we could pull back, if we open in a gap, maybe we could come in, fill the gap, or barely, almost fill the gap, like get within a cunt hair's distance, and then say, "See ya, hold my beer, let's go back to the upside." Because I'd like to see some of Thursday's action get corrected in an actual non-holiday, not this holiday bullshit. But then again, oil is a commodity that trades in other markets. So really, I don't want to discount the holiday action. It's lighter volume, but still, it means something. So I'm very curious on how we head higher, if we can test into the 6430s, as well as all the powder that's left over around those 6490s. That's gonna be very interesting. So
All right, and then in this segment, I was pretty much just talking about a possible short scenario, and that would be, for the market to move higher, and it would get caught up in all that two-way that we did have from Thursday as well as Friday, and then we would see a short
yeah,
trade going back to the point of
excellent
control.
reversion trade. Yes.
Yeah, and then for that trade, what we do have is we have that stacked point of control. So pretty much it would literally be a trade going right back to the prior weekly point of control.
Yeah. Dear market, can you open in a nice big gap and have a really big stall against Thursday's huge fucking uh yeah, that would be great. That'd be really nice. And then before then, give me a really good setup and allow me to put in, max size. So
All right, and then in this part, I was pretty much just talking about the roll that we do have tomorrow, so that's just something to keep in mind.
Yes, yes, yeah. So we're gonna have options expiration and rollover. So we're gonna have some fun. We might have some muted action on that day. So if we have yeah, we'll have to see. That's gonna make it a little trickier. Not as not super tricky, but yeah, just something to be aware of if you watch your order flow and your deltas. So
All right, here we were just pretty much wrapping up the video, given that we covered both scenarios.
we could just wrap it up. For people who are viewing this video, yeah, I know we should have said this in the beginning. Check the link in the description. We do have a Discord channel that we have for oil traders. So Mohammed will probably tell a little more about that. I really suck at that kind of shit. So
Here I was pretty much just talking about the Discord, so if you guys are interested in joining the Discord, there is going to be a link in the description as well as in the comments. The Discord right now is a free to join service, and it's pretty much, you can think of it as a free trial where you're joining, you're seeing what you're going to get, you're seeing sort of what me and Rob are putting out there, and if it is something that you are interested in, hopefully down the line you'll be part of the community as a paid service. And what I was also saying is that what me and Rob want to do with the whole paid service is, one, we want to make it so that we are getting something out of the effort we're putting in, but also hopefully we want to make it affordable so that traders can actually join and benefit. And I was just wrapping up over here. So if you guys did enjoy, like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you tomorrow for the people in Discord and next week for the people on YouTube.
we also like comments, and if you like our stuff, make sure to like and subscribe and comment and I don't know, write some shit. And if you fucking hate it, throw some hate our way. We don't care. Yeah, say something. Let us know that you're alive. So, yeah.
Yep. All right. Take care, everybody. Hopefully this voiceover worked out and this does not happen in the future.
Take care, everybody.